Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you are in the world. It is Saturday, the 29th of October, 6 a.m. And something unusual happened this morning when I dragged myself out of bed. There's stars in the sky for the first time in probably a month. So we might see some videos soon. We might. You never know. Situation here at the moment, it'll be a sunny day today, or at least a sunny morning. Who knows what's going to happen in the next half hour or so. And little update you may have seen on the Facebook group and on the community tab on YouTube. I'm not really shooting videos at the moment. There's a lot going on here locally. Where we are here, for regular viewers of the channel, you guys that have seen what I do here on a regular basis, you know where I live is pretty bloody flat. We live on a billiard table surrounded by little tiny creeks that are about this deep. Those little creeks right now are about 1 meter, 2 or 3 meters deep. So we're kind of surrounded by flooding. Where I go out to Mount Hope out there to do, Mount Hope, if you watch the videos that I do, and that rocky outcrops that I take photos at, I can't even get there at the moment. So we've got the Murray River. That's like one of the major rivers in Australia, and it comes down just north of us. It's about 2 kilometres from where I live, and it's pretty well flooding at the moment. Upstream from us is a place called Torumbury, and they've built a massive levee bank. It's like 5, 6, 7. It could be 10 meters high in some points, but it's 19 kilometers long. It's a massive engineering feat that a heap of people with excavators, shovels, picks, and buckets, whatever you want to call it, hundreds of people have been out there building this massive levee bank to try and save the rest of the community where we are here. So if that thing breaks, the town where I live is probably going to get a bit damp. Where we are here, we're going to be all right. We're a bit out of town. We're a little bit higher. So we'll probably be all right here. But what that means for us, for Sarah and I, is that we spend a lot of time at the moment helping other people. We go out and sandbag places. Yesterday, we called into some friends out there who were door knocked the night before. They live out near the golf course out there. We spent the day yesterday raising up electrical stuff, raising up furniture and so forth, to try and just give them that little bit of leeway to hopefully weather the storm, if you like. We've had about, what's caused all this is the amount of rain that we've had. We've just had bucket loads of rain. Now, our annual rainfall here is about 330 mil, and we've had in less than a month, we've had about 200 mil. So it's just not getting away quick enough. So it'll be around, I reckon we'll be dealing with this for a few months yet. The water itself will move away, but there'll be damage and stuff and cleanups that we've got going on for some time yet. So that's why you haven't seen this ugly mug on your screen showing you different photos that I'm taking at the moment. I've got quite a few things that I want to get done, and I've actually come across a technique using a bit of lighting, and I'll talk about it in a video that I do, but I think I've nailed something here that I never thought I'd be able to do. But I've been just waiting for a nice starry night, and it could be tonight, and I'll test that, and then we'll bring a video to you, because I think it's probably going to get you guys putting your hand in your pocket to buy this bit of kit that I've got to take some amazing night photos. But anyway, we'll talk about that when I actually confirm that it's going to work. Mike Goy in the house. Will Newcomb, you're out of bed in China, mate. That's awfully early for you. Scott Baker, I'm surprised you didn't say I was late, mate. The world on a handheld device. I'm not sure what that means. Jason Stevenson, Kathy Fitzherbert, all the regulars here. Greg McMillan saying hello in the chat, and he's sitting down there watching what... I just realized your lights are changing, Greg. No one can see what I'm talking about here. I've got little Greg on the screen, little tiny Greg. He's all faded out, and you'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. Anyway, you may have seen this photo on the thumbnail. Let me just share this sucker with you. That is, in my humble opinion, it's my freaking channel. It's my opinion. This is probably the best Astro photo I've seen from a phone. That's it. Best Astro photo I've seen from a phone. This thing is bloody amazing. There was a little bit of a story behind this and why I actually wanted to bring this photo onto this. A few years ago, there was, in Australia, we have a photography magazine, and it comes out. You can't see it. Why can't you see it? Can you see that? Greg, could you give me a thumbs up? Can you see what I'm... Yep. I don't know why you can't see it. Everyone else can see it. It's let me to describe it to you. There's the galactic core. There's a waterfall and some water moving across some rocks at the front, and it's a single frame shot. So a few years ago, logged in again, and you can see it. That's the spirit. A few years ago, an Australian photography magazine had a photo that was almost identical to this on their front cover. It was shot with a DSLR. It wasn't my photo. It was just someone that I know. But it was a waterfall, galactic core. And ever since I've seen that on the front page of that photo, on the front page of that magazine, I thought, I really want to get that with a camera. And once I started this channel, I was like, I really want to get this with the phone. And someone's nailed it. Anyway, let's bring these two guys on. I'll bring Greg on first. Morning, Greg. Well, afternoon,
Good
Greg.
morning. Good afternoon. It's good afternoon for me.
Afternoon for you. I always do that. I think every time that we sit down and talk like this, it's like afternoon, morning. I don't know. I'm too confused.
It's yesterday for you, for me.
Would you believe? See this over here? See that right there?
Yeah.
That there is your time zone, and I still don't. It's your time zone's on my phone, just so I know, and I still don't look at the bloody thing when I say, "Hey, it's morning, good afternoon."
There's yours. I keep yours right there.
Oh, that's made my day. I thought I'll just show you how much of a good friend I am. Oh, look at what you did there.
But yes, my lights are changing constantly.
Yeah, it's normally like this blue color.
I thought I'd just change it up
like
a
that.
bit.
Well, yeah, why not? What's news with you, my friend?
Does my video look any better?
It looks a little.
Because
it looks
I'm
different.
using.
I would say it looks better because you're used to using an iMac, aren't you? Or your Mac.
I'm using continuity camera on the new Mac OS Ventura, and I'm using my 10s Max.
Are you?
And I can switch between the two. So if I went like this, now that's the Mac.
Ah. Okay.
Then I go back to the iPhone. And then there.
I don't mind that. That's quite clever.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. So what's news with you, mate?
Oh, just been enjoying autumn up here in the Northern Hemisphere.
And I don't know if you actually shared those photos that the video and stuff that you shared in that group chat that we have.
I didn't share the one going down the road, but I've just released my YouTube video and ebook of all the fall colors that I did this year.
Yep.
Well, that was posted in the group.
It was. I missed it. There's a lot going on in that group that I just don't see.
But yeah, the ebook is free. It's on the Apple Bookstore. Sorry, I don't have another way of getting it out there right now. But it's so easy for me to do it that way in the Apple ecosystem that I'm in. And but the YouTube video is all the same pictures. It's just set to music, so you can enjoy it either way.
Yeah, it's one of these things that whenever we're talking, because, and I've explained this I think before with the group chat that we have with the admins on the Facebook group, I forget where I've seen things. So like we'll all share things with each other in that group chat, and then when we come live, I go, "Oh, everyone would have seen that." Oh no, that was in that group chat that we had, so no one's actually seen that.
Yeah.
So this video is you're in your car driving down country road looking like, and there's just autumn color everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's out of all the things on this iPhone, this 14, the thing that I'm impressed with the most with this is the stability in the video. It's just crazy good.
And because I'm going, I'm holding the phone like this while my wife is driving, and it's bouncing around like this, but you wouldn't even know it. Like there's some bugs on the window. If you look closely, you can see the bugs on the window, and you can see how much the phone's actually moving. But yeah, the stability is just off the charts.
Yeah, it's so impressive. Crazy good. If my channel here was all about mobile video instead of photography, this thing would be killing it. It's so impressive. The amount of video that I've been shooting on this is much more than I ever thought I would be shooting on an iPhone. And I'm glad I
Yeah.
got it because it just is. It's next level. It's so impressive. I see Andy's in the house. Morning, Andy. Afternoon, Andy. Whatever it is. He's probably over there. What was he drinking when he was on here last time?
Vodka?
Was it vodka? Must be an Englishman thing.
I think so.
I don't know if Devo's in the house. For those who don't know, since the last time you saw our faces on this channel, Devo is one of the admins on the Facebook group. The very first admin on the Facebook group. He got married.
Yes, congratulations.
Someone's a very, very tolerant woman out there, and she decided to spend more time with him. And Mike James in the house. Now, Mike, if you guys have missed it somehow, Mike's actually released his books, and there's links there. Mike, if you've got time, can you just throw a link in that there for your books? And what he's done there, he's done a code for, unless I understand this wrong, it's like $15 for the book, or you use the link that he's hopefully going to put in here, and you get it for $2. But he'd like you to leave a review there once you've had a read of the book. Is that your understanding, Greg?
I think so, yeah.
Yep. Sweet as. We'll quickly go through some comments here. We do have a guest coming on. I've got a really bad habit of ignoring the comments, and it's usually Greg that starts answering for me. The development makes lens attachment obsolete. Now it stabilizes. What's next? Well, that's true. True to an extent. I reckon there's still a bit of room there, I think, for some lenses. I think some lenses is not much point to them anymore, but some, I think there's still a good need for it. I think that the mechanical lens, as in a fixed lens, attached lens, whatever you want to call it, in macro especially, would be better than the macro from the phone. Have you done testing with that, Greg?
I am waiting for my case for my new phone to come from Reflex. It's on the way. And once I get it, I will be doing some comparison shots. I still think you cannot beat the optics of a lens.
Yeah.
Even though I've been really enjoying the macro mode in my iPhone 14 Pro Max. It produces some pretty good images, but I do like what I get from having a lens on there. And what I'm really looking forward to is getting a 48 megapixel macro shot.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to that too. I'm looking forward to seeing behind you there, instead of the lights and the frame photo, a big poster of a blowfly.
Yeah. I don't even know what a blowfly is.
A blowfly. You don't know what a fly? It's like a bigger fly. You don't have blowflies?
Yeah, but everything's big in Australia. We just get little house flies.
Well, it's kind of like my hats. It's really hard for me to find a hat because my head's so big. But not everything is bigger in Australia. Mind you, we do have, I don't know if you have them. I should go on a trip one day just to take photos of these sorts of things. So like we have, especially down the east coast of Australia, we have all the big things. Like in Coffs Harbour, there's a big banana, and it's like you can walk in this thing. It's a big banana on the side. It's a banana plantation. There used to be a big cow up in the Sunshine Coast, a big pineapple, and all these things you can walk in. They're like, they're like 30, 40 meters high. They're massive.
Oh, wow.
In Goulburn, there's the big merino, like a sheep. But the big things are everywhere here. I should probably do a trip one day and just do the big Australia thing. There's a big prawn. What you call them a shrimp, I suppose. Yeah, the Paul Hogan throw another shrimp on the barbie. We don't call them shrimp, we call them prawns. But when is it going to? I'm going to say you're not going to get it reviewed. I'm not going to do it. I've gone this way. Should I do it? Should I not do it? Should I do it? Shouldn't I do it? And I'm just not going to do it. The astrophotography on the Pixel is very much software driven, and it does a fantastic job, and no one can deny that. But between the Pixel 4a and the Pixel 6, there's no difference, and the camera is a different camera. But if I took a photo with the 4a and a 6, you're not going to tell the difference. And the same will come with the 7, because it's so software driven, and the camera on the 6 and the 7 are not that different. It's going to look exactly the same. So there's going to be benefits of that camera otherwise, but for Astro, it's going to be exactly the same. So I'm just not going to spend the money. I'm sorry. I don't do a heap of pixel stuff here. I do a bit of it, but not heaps of it. And I just can't. I buy all the cameras, all the phones that I use. I just can't justify spending the dollars to do that. Sorry. The manual macro, absolutely. Yeah, okay. I do use the wide lenses and the ultra wide. I've even used the fisheye mainly for star trail stuff. But that would be it really. I did think that the telephoto stuff, the zoom lenses onto the telephoto lens on the iPhone, that works quite well as well. But not as good as like the Samsungs with their ridiculous zoom abilities. Has anyone tried the new Astro mode? We'll talk about that in a second with our guest when he comes on. Star Trek. You know, right now in Newcastle, there's a bloke with long hair laughing at us, laughing at him. They are bigger in Australia.
What's this about an Apple feature? Dale, because the next comment, hey, Dale, congrats on your Apple feature.
Yeah, he was featured by Apple on Instagram.
Oh, wow, you got to be on Instagram to check that out. I must have missed it.
Hashtag Instagram sucks.
Yes, exactly. You know it.
But that's a pretty big achievement.
Sure,
for a bloke who's had a.
I've been trying to get featured by
ages.
them. I've been trying to get featured by them for like how many years have I been on Instagram? No luck.
But this bloke from Australia comes along, sits in his bloody bedroom, and puts his photo at the window every night. Yeah. But I think it was his time lapse of the stars. Is that right, Dale? Can you correct me on that? I'm pretty sure that's what it was. It's bloody impressive to have one of the bloody legends being
shot there it is
windows while he slept.
Oh, it's a time lapse, yeah.
Yep. I love that he's been featured by Apple. There we go. That's gold.
Look at that. By Kirk Hammett. Oh, that's awesome, Dale. That's great. I'm happy for you. And it's well deserved because that's a really cool video. A cool time lapse.
It really is. The thing that I love about that is that there are like, and he's a good, he does star trails better than anyone I know. He does it really, really bloody good. But the thing that I just love about this is that there's guys like you who just nail macro photography with your iPhone. And there's so many iPhone photographers out there who just magnificent photographers. This guy gets featured. You didn't, and he did it while he was asleep. Have you been featured by Apple? Mate, I'll do that in my sleep.
That's priceless. That's good.
I think that's awesome. I think that's fantastic. But to be featured by Apple,
give the knife a twist while you're there. That's funny though. That's a good story. That is good. That's
awesome, mate. I think when you put it into that sort of perspective, you kind of go, Instagram does suck.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh dear. You like this new hat? This is our only. Do you know that team?
No.
That's because it's not a team. It's a horse riding hat. Yeah.
I wonder what it was. I was looking at it and I'm trying to think, what the heck is that?
Yeah, I'm always looking for hats. Yeah. And as I said, my head's like a stupid size. It's like my feet. My feet are a stupid size. Whenever before I end up buying my own boots, whenever we'd go snow skiing, it would be horrible to try and find a pair of boots that fit me. And then after the first day, that was it. I could barely walk anymore. So I end up going to buy my own boots, getting all formed to my own feet. But whenever we go shopping somewhere, I'll go, oh, that's a cool looking hat. And it's got to meet a few criteria. It's got to have the curved brim. It's got to be closed at the back.
Yeah. Yeah, we call that fullback.
Fullback.
I think so. Yeah.
And as long as I think it looks okay, I'll buy the damn thing. And we went into a saddlery store, like a horse saddlery place. I'm assuming they're called the same thing there, where they sell all horse stuff, not horses, but like saddles and ropes that are so much more expensive just because they're for horses, that sort of stuff. And there was a couple of hats there. I went, I like that. Sarah said, buy it. I'm like, but I don't even know what it is. But hey, I like the hat. Anyway, that's the end of that. Let's bring on our impulse buy. That's right. Let's bring on our guest.
Yes.
Now his accent is full on. He may not even understand us because according to the poll that I did last time, I've got the worst accent out of all of us. That was
I don't have one.
There was you, Patrika, I think.
Yeah.
David Addison and myself, who has the weirdest accent, and I just got hammered. I was the one with the weird accent. Thanks, guys. Anyway, Mariano. Good morning, good afternoon, evening.
Oh, you must be muted.
Oh,
there you go.
Good afternoon.
There we go.
Hello, everybody.
How are you, mate?
Do you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
How you doing there?
It's okay. I'm very happy to be here with you. And sorry about my English. I'm a Spanish guy.
As I said, mate, sorry about my Spanish.
It's okay.
Let's just, before we get into this, just look at this smart ass here. My God.
My man.
That's right. So tell us, mate, whereabouts are you? You're in Argentina. Whereabouts in Argentina?
I live in Neuquén, Argentina, and I like photography. I started with my own DSLR. I have now an 5D Mark III from Canon.
Okay. Yep.
And since I've got the S22,
yep.
I'm very impressed what you got with this phone.
Absolutely.
It's amazing.
The thing that I like, you just touched on a little bit there. Like this photo, we'll talk about the photo in a second, but that photo is one of the best I've seen in a single shot.
Thank you.
For astrophotography from a phone. And the phone that you're using is the S22, not the S22 Ultra. It's just the S22, and that just shows, like our guest, was Andy on last week? I think he was last fortnight.
Yep.
It just shows that you don't have to have the duck's nuts of the latest top of the line cameras to achieve some remarkable results. That was a purely coincidental thing that the two guests lined up like that. So you said, I think you said before we come on, you're about 1,200 kilometers from the capital.
Buenos Aires.
Yep.
From Buenos Aires. Yeah.
Yep. So what do you do with yourself during the day? Do you work somewhere? What do you do?
I work with computers. Informatica. I work in the legislatura. It calls here is where the make laws. I don't know how to say.
Oh, make laws, like the government sort of thing.
Yes, it's part of the government. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So, what got you into astrophotography?
I started with I liked so much doing landscape, and with Astro I got a very special feeling. Being in night in those places, it's amazing.
Yeah.
No comparison.
Yeah. I definitely won't argue
when
with
you
that, mate.
press the shutter
yeah.
and you see what you got
Yeah.
in your camera or in your phone or whatever, it's amazing.
Yeah.
You don't see it with your eyes, and you see with your camera.
Yep. Yeah. When I was running workshops in person, and we would have people come from Melbourne, the state capital here, and we'd have 8 or 9 people, students out there, and we were teaching them how to do things. And the best things for us as the instructors was that first photo. It doesn't matter how badly composed it was, but as soon as the students saw the galactic core in the camera, and you could hear it, like you hear everyone click, and it's dead silent for 30 seconds, and no one's saying anything. You saw these red lights on the back of cameras everywhere, and then you hear all the shutters go, and you hear all across it all. It's just that first photo, and to be honest, it still makes me quite happy. Even when I go out there and I take a photo, I was go, that's bloody awesome. It's so
That's
so
why
cool that
everybody continues to go and take astrophotography.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at this, mate. Your English is actually great.
Thank
Your
you.
English is good. Yes. And then, of course, this liar here, but he's not talking about you. He's talking about. So tell us about this photo, mate.
Well, I took this photo trying to compose the image because I have to put the tripod on the water, and before I put the camera and choose lens and everything I have to do with my 5D, I put the phone, and it blows my mind, literally, because I didn't expect that. When I see the raw file in the cell phone, it's amazing. In only one shot, I read the EXIF if you want, but don't remember exactly. But
the settings, you mean?
The settings, yeah.
Yep.
I got it. F1.8, 30 seconds, and ISO 100 and 1600.
1600.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was the EXIF of the. I don't know if
no, that's okay.
It's okay.
I might be able to see it if you hold it up again, mate.
What? I don't know.
Hold that up again. Hold your camera
again. I don't know if it.
No, down just a bit. Oh yeah. Yep. 1600, 30 seconds.
Yep.
And that's there.
Oh wow.
Without
so cool.
any edit.
Yep.
And
so
when I see that, I can't believe.
It's bloody impressive.
Yeah.
So you shot this in the Expert RAW app?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's been very good app. I like so much.
Did you by chance shoot this same photo using RAW in the camera app?
Yeah, and I posted today in Facebook. If you
okay.
If you wanna go
I'll have a look after
search it, that's the version. And I took for the camera. I took 6 photos for the sky to reduce noise, and one exposure. I think 800 ISO and 4 minutes approximately.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
For the foreground. Yep.
That's with your phone 5D, was it?
What?
That's with your Canon camera?
Yeah. Yep. And then post-production in Light, but now Camera Raw and Photoshop.
Okay. Yep. That's kind of cool. That's very cool. Is there a reason that because you obviously know how to do that with the DSLR, with the stacking and the blending, Is it? Have you ever done that with the phone camera?
No, never.
No,
Never. I
because
did
I
it.
looked at this, and the detail in that foreground. My gut feeling is if you're competent, and you obviously are competent enough to do the blending, to take a longer photo focused on the foreground and light the foreground separately, then blend them, it would be it'd be something
It
to
would
do.
be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So what other sort of photos do you take?
I take usually landscape, Astro, and no,
That's it.
mostly that.
So
Mostly that.
with your Canon camera,
Yeah.
what lens are you using there?
I
For
have
Astro?
a 7040 f4, dark for Astro, and 70-200 f4.
Okay. I was using
That's my two lenses.
a Samyang, I think it's called. Just pretty sure it's Samyang. I'll have to have a look. I used to use a 5D.
You are a
not
Canon
long
user
ago.
too?
I use Sony now. 14 2.8. Yeah, it's a Samyang, SAM YANG. I'll put it in the comments here. 14 f2.8. In that comment there, this one here.
No.
That lens, it's a pretty inexpensive lens for a DSLR. They're probably, you can buy them. It's a full manual lens, so it's full manual focus and full aperture. The aperture is fully on the lens. Like you need to turn the aperture dial. And almost all of my Astro photos with the Canon were shot with that lens. It does an amazing job because because you're controlling on a DSLR, you're controlling everything for Astro manually anyway. This is a very, very good lens for doing that.
I look for that. Interesting.
It's a very good lens for doing that. Yeah, absolutely. Now here we goes. Dave from across the ditch. Yeah. So you may know it by that name as well. It's interesting. Thanks for pointing that out, Dave, because when I was doing my research to find a lens for the Canon, I kept on coming across that Rockinon, and I couldn't find it anywhere in Australia. And then I found it was a different brand, different name here. Yeah. So on your phone, you're using the S22. What would your favorite apps on this phone? What would they be?
Expert Raw, Lightroom Mobile, and Snapseed.
So why would you use Snapseed and Lightroom? I'm curious.
I used to use it because before I started to use Lightroom Mobile, Snapseed has the potential to, with double exposures, make some masks. And you can manage to do selection very precise with the double exposure and to select sky or trees or something like that.
Yeah. I'm really hoping, the smart selecting tool, that masking tool on Lightroom, how you can say select sky or select subject. That to me, and I spoke to Russell Brown about it, asking how long until you can transfer that file from Lightroom Mobile into Photoshop with the mask, because it just to me it just makes sense.
Good features.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, because they've already
got
got
the other one, Photopills.
Yeah. What's that one?
And the other one, the fourth, is Photopills.
Photopills.
Photopills. Yeah.
Photopills.
Yeah. Do you use Photopills, Greg?
No. I have one that I've invested in called Planet Pro. So it's PLANIT Pro, like as if you're going to plan it out. So, you know, it's I think it's very similar to photo pills. But
I think it might be from what I've seen. Yeah.
I used Skyview the last couple of times I did Astro work though, because it shows where the galactic core is and all that stuff. So, and you can adjust the time in it as well, right? You know,
you can, eh?
Yeah, you could, you know, find out where it's going to be at 11 o'clock 3 nights from now, type of thing, and it'll show you.
I didn't realize it did that. I thought Photo Pills was the only one that did that. That's interesting. That might be worth a video. That one.
It is pretty good.
Cool. So, Greg? Are you using Lightroom? Or you use what's the editing that you use? You don't use Lightroom.
Well, I've really started using Darkroom a lot more. But if I do an Astro shot, I'm using Lightroom.
Why?
Just because it does better with the dehaze and clarity and stuff. Now I don't have an Adobe subscription, so I can't do the raw file in Lightroom. But it does fairly decent with the JPEG.
Yep. I found that, especially with the iPhones, it's less with the Samsungs, but it's still there, is that haze. And you would have seen it in the unedited file that Mariano put up before.
Yeah.
There's still quite a lot of haze in the sky. And until you use that dehazing tool, that's what really, I think, makes the stars pop with the Astro photos with the mobile phones. So, Mariano, this is like 4 hours, I think you said, from where you are.
What?
This photo that you took here, this photo here.
Yeah.
This is 4 hours from where you are, where you live.
4 hours about 400 kilometers from here.
Oh wow!
So where you live, is it heavily light polluted where you live?
Yeah. And this place has a Bortle 3.
Say that again.
Very dark sky. This place where I took the photo.
Oh, Bortle 3.
It's Bortle 3.
Oh, yep. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
What is it where? What is it where you are?
No, I think I don't know, but it's a big city. It's impossible to see a star. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, have you done light trails before?
Yeah. Not with the phone. Not with the phone.
But it's worth
after
doing.
That, I start to to test it more.
You might get featured on Samsung's Instagram feed if you do.
Thank you.
So look at these. You can always tell iPhone Astro from that haze. You can. I think for me, the giveaway with an iPhone Astro photo is the stars. Like you can generally get rid of the haze a fair bit through the edit, but I think in the galactic core, the stars I think look different in an iPhone. But I agree, the haze is definitely there with the unedited stuff. Just new to this mobile photography gig. Is there a stacking app for the iPhone?
I don't believe there's one on the iPhone. You can take it to desktop though and do it there, I guess.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. There's not the way you're thinking about it there. I'm absolutely sure you're thinking about stacking it for noise, like what we do with what we were talking about before. Nocturne app is an app to take the actual photo, and it will take it similar to what the Pixel does in many photos, and then stacks it in the image. Like you don't stack it manually, but I think this photo, this comment here is more about taking multiple photos with the phone and then stacking it afterwards. There's a couple of apps that some app developers have contacted me, and they're not quite when they've asked me about stacking apps, I've said this is what people would want. It's just in like lining the stars up, aligning the stars. And the only ones that I've been able to get out of people are the app developers who have made them. They're just making star trails, just like what Dale did in that video that you saw before. No one makes one that aligns all the stars. Nobody does that yet, like the Pixel does. So the Nocturne app is similar to what the Pixel does. It works exactly the same way, but there's no editing. There's no like manually aligning those stars. You need to take them off there, put them on the computer, and line them up with like Photoshop or something like that. Could also mean stack and choose light and. Well, there is those. There are apps that do that now, but it's one of these things. Yeah, that is what he's after. Aligning them after. Well, what Dale's talking about here, I look at that and I go, one, you need to do what you're talking about here, to like line up those stars. You need an intervalometer on your app to take those photos, because an intervalometer for an iPhone just doesn't exist, except for even longer. That's the only one that does it at the moment. So you want to be to do this, you're going to want to use that app, even longer app, and that's exactly how Dale's got it doing those time lapses. It's taking many photos, and it'll make that, or you can make that star trail video for you.
Doesn't Pro Camera have an intervalometer? I believe it does.
Well, the problem with any other app besides even longer at the moment is that even Pro Camera has only got 1 second maximum shutter speed, so you're not going to get those stars in that sky. Not nearly as well as what even longer is going to get it. So it's one of the. You're absolutely right, Greg. It does have intervalometer. There's a couple that do have it, but only for 1 second. So certainly not for Astro.
Right.
Affinity Photo might work. I know nothing about Affinity Photo. Do you know Affinity Photo, Greg?
I have it. Not on the iPad, but on my Mac. And I haven't. I've never tried, stacking like this. So, I mean, does it do it? Probably. I don't know.
Mariano, that's a question for you, mate.
Oh,
I'm not even going to try and pronounce that.
I want to go next summer. I like it. The photos from there are amazing, and it's a very good place. Last year I went to El Chaltén, where is the Fitzroy. Very good place too.
Is that far from where you are?
What?
Is that far from where you are?
Yeah. Ushuaia is about 2,500 kilometers approx.
Oh, wow.
And what's there?
I'm in the middle of Argentina.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is at this place?
Ushuaia is the last point of the continent, the last city.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
South?
From the continent, yeah.
Wow.
More, it's the Drake. I don't know. Drake Pass from ships, for ships.
Okay.
And
So
then Antarctica.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right. So here, because a lot of expeditions to Antarctica leave from Argentina, right?
Yeah, from there, Ushuaia.
Yeah. So I'm thinking you would be able to get reasonably good aurora photos from this place.
I think I look for that. I really love to get an aurora, but from Ushuaia, I think that they couldn't see them. I don't know why.
Oh, okay.
You might get more to the south.
Okay. It's funny when you say the name of this place. In my ears, it sounds like you're saying Australia.
I was gonna address that. That is how a flat out drunk says Australia. He says Australia.
Go Australia. No phone can create a trail with multiple photos that I know of. Not hundreds of shots. You can.
There's an app for that, or no?
Yeah, you've got the Star Trail app or the Light Trail app on the
No, on the
Androids.
cell phone, no. No.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. It's you need to use that intervalometer app.
Yeah.
And then use this. I think it's the Star Trail or Light Trail. It's got like a sister app to that, and you can build the Star Trails. That's how people like Mike Goyne build theirs, and he does sensational.
To make a Star Trail, I use in Windows Sequator.
Oh yeah, Sequator. Yeah,
it's free and it's awesome.
Yep, absolutely. Star Stacks and Affinity Photos. There we go. So there you go, Greg. It does do it.
Okay, good.
Eagle Image Stacker. That's the one I was thinking of. It's not for iPhone. It's an Android one. It doesn't freeze the foreground, so you need to certainly blend your shots afterwards. And it's probably not going to go for that long if your foreground's all too detailed. But if you go and look at Mike's photos on the Facebook group there, and you can see the star trails that he does. Yeah, and what's he using? He's using a really old phone, isn't it? Oh, it's not that old. It's a S20
FE or something.
Yeah. Again, someone who's taking amazing photos without using the top of the line camera.
Yeah,
it's making me look bad. I'm using the top of the line camera all the time, and I'm not taking any photos at the moment. Is there an app that stacks like Google Pixel, but you have
Make it come.
Manual controls. The
Milky
app name
can.
is.
I don't.
I reckon I've tried this. That sounds familiar. What I find with so many of these apps, and I'm not 100% sure if this is the one, but there are apps that we can sit here and go, is there an app that stacks it? And you go, well, someone's made an app and it stacks it, but it looks like shit. You want to have something that does it, but also looks good. And at the moment, right now, on the iPhone, the only one that does that is Even Longer for Star Trails. But you can get those individual photos with the intervalometer and then make them into a movie afterwards, or just get the Star Trails from the one lot of photos. That's the only one that I know of. But to stack them though, like the Pixel, the only one that I know of is that Nocturne app on the iPhone anyway. One of the most beautiful places on earth. Oh, he's talking about Australia. Have you been banned? He gets banned everywhere. I'm surprised that YouTube hasn't banned him yet, just for being here. Apologies if this has been addressed elsewhere. I have not used this anywhere. It's one of these, and I think I try and address this when it comes up. This here where I am, there are so many phones that I just can't get. That phone isn't available here in Australia. I can't walk into a shop and buy that phone. And because they're like a couple of grand to buy, I'm really reluctant to go and put it on, give someone my money to someone in some faraway land that I've got no way of knocking on their door and say, where's my phone? So I'd love to be able to do it, but unless they send me one, I'm not going to be able to do it. I sure hope to get there. Get me. Today I got my mind blown by Huawei. Oh, but what did you do? Oh. As soon as face. Always getting banned, this guy. I didn't know you were banned at the moment. What did you? He's pissed someone off somewhere. Oh dear, oh dear. What else did I want to talk about? Hey, Greg, I asked you before about your 14. You're happy with your 14. Do you still have your always on display turned on?
Yep.
Because what I've seen with mine, and I don't think it's faulty. is that with my always on display on, so my average day is this thing will sit in my pocket. Well, at least three days a week, it'll sit in my pocket. I'll have a Bluetooth headset on and I'll be listening to an audiobook as I go about my day for pretty much the whole day.
Yeah.
And my iPhone 13 Pro Max, I'd be able to get 2 days out of that phone using it like that. Now, that didn't have the always on display. And I was finding that I wasn't even getting a whole day out of this thing. So I turned that display, always on display, off.
Well, when it's in your pocket, it goes off anyway.
Well, it made a difference. It definitely made a difference.
Oh,
yeah? I turned that off. And
well, part of it too is that when it's on, those widgets, I think, are trying to update.
Okay.
So that's going to use a little bit of battery.
Yeah. Well, I've turned it off. And I would struggle to get more than a day out of that battery, I reckon. And I think that could be a little bit of where I live, in that it's roaming a lot more, trying to find signal a lot more. So
That'll chew it up a lot more than anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's in the same place as what I was using this. But they are both. My life is not any different. I'm not going anywhere different. The places that I'm traveling is exactly the same. I don't know. I just don't find that the battery is as good on that as what it was on that.
Do you have
So
5G?
Nope.
So your 5G is not turned on, though, is it? Like it's not on 5G auto or anything?
It might be. I have to have a look at that. That's a good point. I didn't think of that. When you said 5G, that's quite funny, because quite often during the day, I get 3G.
Yeah, I see that here the odd time.
Oh, you do?
Oh yeah.
A friend of mine in
Especially at
Melbourne
work.
was like, "Oh, the internet's so fast on this phone." I'm like, "What? Yeah, it's 5G." Like, I'm curious now. I'm just going to do it. No, it's on 4G.
Okay.
4G. Yeah, that's what I had on the other one because of that.
Well, if it's looking for a signal, I mean, it's going to do that when it's in your pocket. So, I mean, if it's not getting a good signal, then yeah, it's going to eat the battery down.
Yeah, it could be just that. But like I say, nothing has really changed as far as where I go and stuff. But the 13 didn't seem to dwindle as quickly, if you like.
Yeah.
Anyway, we move on. There's been an update now, Mariano. You have not done it, I don't think, for the Expert Raw.
No, not yet. I'm waiting for that, for the update.
Yep. Somebody, I think it might have been on that group chat, and I haven't done it yet because I haven't had stars to even look at it yet. But there's an Astro mode coming to the S22s in the Expert Raw app. I don't know how it works yet. I don't know if it stacks it. I don't know.
I think that it has some augmented reality for constellations. Maybe that.
So it's more for finding constellations. That makes sense with the icon that's there. The screenshots that I've seen, the icon certainly looks like a constellation.
Yeah.
Rather than just some stars like it does on the Pixel. That makes sense. Maybe it's just for that. That would be disappointing if it is, but we'll see. I'll be surprised if it was just that, because it's on the Expert Raw app, which is specifically for taking raw photos. You wouldn't necessarily have something to find constellations on the higher end camera app. So hopefully we'll see. We'll see in the coming days when I get it done.
Yeah.
3G. I still edge out.
Still edge. Oh wow.
What's Edge?
That's crazy.
What's Edge? I've never heard of that.
It's previously from 3G.
Prior to 3G, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Wow. Actually, he might know. So I was just thinking, he's a bit of a gun with the Astro, with the Samsungs. It's going to stack. Okay. That's interesting. That's going to be worth the upgrade.
Yeah.
And if the sky stays clear for today, you may well even see that. You're lucky to get 3G, let alone 5G. Andy, I think Andy's kind of in the middle of friggin' nowhere, kind of like I am. It just looks nicer.
Well, you both have a lot of water.
See, you wouldn't have thought I'd be able to say I've got waterfront property here, but hey, I do at the moment.
Yeah, you do.
Star Tracker and Star Walk 2. Well, that's going to be the same as photo pills, I reckon. It's the same thing with the augmented reality. And what was the other one? Planet. Is that on Android? You probably don't know, Greg, do you?
I'm not sure. Planet Pro.
You're like iPhone, Android.
No, I do try to keep an open mind.
G'day, Void. Hi. Anyway, that's all I have for this morning. Do you have anything that you want to cover off, Greg? What's happening in your world with your podcast?
Let's see now. I am going to be interviewing soon Joe Bradford about her new book, Smart Photos, 52 Ideas to Take Your Smartphone Photography to the Next Level. And I just got it like a couple of days ago. It's on Amazon, and it's really good. It's a really well put together book. Like, it has all kinds of like 52 different ideas that you can do. You know, just different things, like things that you may never have tried. As I was going through, starting at one and carrying it on, I actually have done a lot of them, believe it or not. But there's a lot in here that I haven't done. You know, even lighting, like talks about lighting, rim lighting, and how to do it, and what you need, and all this stuff. Yeah, so cool. It's an excellent book. So I'll be interviewing her at some point when I get a chance to go through the book a little better and then know what I'm talking about. And oh gosh.
So how long has that book been out, mate?
Oh, just a few days. I think it was released on the 22nd or the 24th of October.
Yep.
Yeah.
All the cool kids are
on Amazon.
Releasing books now, eh?
Pardon?
All the cool kids are releasing books now.
Yeah, and some of them are still waiting and waiting. Yes, and I will be talking to Mike James shortly about his book.
Just remember, he's from Geelong, so you've got to speak a bit slower.
Oh.
I kid, Mike. You know I do. And thank you, because
you got to remember, Shane. He's a lot bigger than you.
He's bigger than anywhere, man. The guy's a giant. He's fucking huge. It just blows me away. That does explain why Shane doesn't have one. I can't write my own name, let alone lots of words. Saw her at the photography show. What photography show? There's all these interesting things that I see on the internet about there's like mobile creators and mobile photography shows and stuff, and I'm like, where the hell is this stuff? And it's like on the other side of the planet. It's a long way away from me. So I might get her details off you, or you can get her my details when you actually do just have a discussion with her, mate. I think anybody who can do that sort of thing and have that many ideas and go through the process of putting them into a book, there are people that are watching this now that I think they're probably going to get something out of that.
Oh yeah,
it'd be worthwhile having her on the show.
That's her third book that she's done that I know of. Okay. The first one, well, she's done one on Snapseed.
Just Snapseed.
So just Snapseed, yeah.
Yeah, right. Well, that's good. The more you think about that, the more you go into Snapseed. You go, there's a lot of tools in there. You could easily write a book. Yeah, it would. I shouldn't say that. It would easily fill a book. That's what I should say. Yeah. If it's about Apple, it should be called 52 Ways to Make Your Photography
without Zoom.
No wonder this guy gets banned.
Yep. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Well, he's
How's
right.
the Gmail on that? Absolutely. How's the Gmail working on that Huawei, mate? Yeah. All right. Very good. So you're not sure when that's happening? What's happening with your book, mate? We don't know anything.
I wish I knew. I wish they would return my emails. I don't know. I don't know when it's going to get printed.
You watch, there'll be a macro iPhone macro photography book released very shortly from the bloke who you gave the copy to. He'll be the author. Won't be Greg.
No, it's, I have all the faith in the world that it'll come out eventually. It's just when, I don't know.
Sure.
They're just a smaller bit. So
any developments on your YouTube channel?
Nothing yet. I you know what? I would have probably already started it, but I've been so busy with the autumn thing this year.
Yeah.
Now that it's slowing down, when I get some time now, I'll start thinking more seriously about getting something started.
Cool. Very good.
But for now, go to my YouTube channel, look at my autumn video, and go grab the ebook. The link is in the description.
Done deal. Mike James, what I'll do, mate, on the description of this video, I'll put the link to your book in there as well. Guys, I'll pin that post in the Facebook group as well, and so that people can see what you've done there. It's not going to get hidden in everything else, and hopefully they'll go ahead and give you some support and give you some feedback. We all make things better. Thanks for coming on, boys. Mariano, thanks for joining us this morning, this afternoon, this evening, wherever it is there.
This evening. It's hard for you.
It's what, sorry?
It's hard for you to get up so early.
I'm always up this early, mate. I've been away for hours. All right. Thanks, boys.
Yeah, his days half over and the sun's not even up.
See you later, boys.
Okay. Bye.